Hi, my name's Tessa Wood, and today I'm going to be doing a review of 127 Hours. This is based on a true story. Aaron Ralston, who was hiking by himself in a canyon, and he fell and got his arm caught between a boulder and the side of the canyon, and he was stuck there for 5 days until he finally cut his arm off. I wouldn't think that a story about a guy being stuck in the same place for 5 days could possibly make a good movie. I also thought that James Franco, Tristan and Isolde, Spider-Man, Pineapple Express, might there be a reason that he's never played a role like this one? I was wrong. He actually did a really good job. What the character goes through, psychological and emotional development over 5 days of thinking you're going to die, so intense. I feel like it'd be something really difficult to pull off. James Franco does it admirably. He was helped out by Danny Boyle's interesting camera work. You have one scene taken from here and here and here, and you get some angles of through the screen of the video camera that he has. Now we're in the camera. Plus James Franco being like, my arm. The fact that it was actually done in a replica of the 2-foot space or 3-foot space that that Ralston was stuck in is incredible in itself because of the camera angles. And it came out to be really nice and a very good combination, a warranted nomination. The score was also good. It was kind of like it was his inner monologue, everything he was going through. So the part when he's cutting his arm off, and then you see the nerve, and he hits it, and the music in the background. Meanwhile, before that had been going kind of doo doo doo, in the background, kind of scary. But as soon as he hits the nerve, it's like Psycho, hits it, and he pulls away, and then he does it again, and it's and then finally he starts cutting again, and the music's and he finally gets through it, and it's just this. I mean, it's gross, but it's not so gross that you can't stand it. Don't let the prospect of disgusting self-amputation scene deter you from seeing this movie. It's worth it. Everyone's expecting it. Nobody's probably quite prepared for it, but it's gonna happen, folks. Deal with it, because they still do a very good job. Don't worry. The scene is very artfully done. There were some people who didn't think that the cinematography was, quite as awesome as I'm making it out to be. Most of the complaints were that the cinematography was too much. James Kedrick of the Q Network Entertainment Portal said, that the cinematography, pushes too hard. I mean, yes, without that cinematography, you lose something. It might have been, too chaotic for some people. I really enjoyed it. I thought it added great intensity to it. Charlie Lyon, who writes for a online British movie blog called Ultra Culture, also doesn't really like the cinematography. He said, Danny Boyle, still can't keep his camera still or focused. But honestly, I mean, if it was still and if it was focused in this movie, you wouldn't get that effect. You kind of get that sense of urgency. One from, James Franco being shit. Another from being cut, 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 cut. It's not a still movie. It's not supposed to be still. It's supposed to be kind of panicked and chaotic. Chris Hewitt from the St. Paul Pioneer Press said that there is so much inherent drama in the story that Boyle's whiz-banging feels unnecessary and disrespectful. I can't say I agree. I think some whiz-banging is actually necessary. And yes, there's drama in that story. No doubt. The drama is in his head. There's this part when he freaks out and he goes, "Don't panic, Aaron." You can't portray that "don't panic" in their face or, with a camera angle. You need to, 1, have the line, 2, get different camera angles, 3, have the heavy breathing. You need to have, the kind of tense music that's building and building, building and building. You get really scared, and then you're wait, and the music dies. Don't panic, Aaron. You can't just say, "Don't panic, Aaron." You can't just say, boom, 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 boom. Oh, he's thinking "don't panic" to himself. The two go hand in hand. They need to help each other out. Throughout the movie, the audience would go places in terms of, his hallucinations, his imagination, his memories. Back to, why didn't I answer the phone when my mom called me? He was regretting that he didn't pick up. Besides that, literally not going anywhere, you're kind of, all of that is in his mind, so you're put, because you're at such you're this close to him the entire time, and he's just what do I do? What do I do? You're in his mind. The music is in his mind. So the audience is really in his mind. Even with those flashbacks, you feel like you're still in that crevice with him without that cinematography keeping you interested, being like, oh, that's a cool shot. That's a cool shot. It keeps it interesting, even though, in reality, you're in the same place the whole time. Everything in a movie contributes to the tone of the movie, and the tone is, shit, I'm gonna die. You can't portray that with just acting. You need some elaborate cinematography to go along with the good acting, because together they create a dynamic duo of awesome movie-ness. Seems to have been well received by the general public.
Kind of moved me, actually.
Cinematography was so cool.
Impeccably done.
I really love the movie.
The orange Gatorade part I just really love for some reason.
James Franco's smiley face. His eyes scrunch up like a little troll doll.
It was fantastic.
But he's a hot troll doll.
His performance was phenomenal.
It was really intense.
I'm not alone here. What I also think is kind of incredible is that James Franco, apparently he has a problem with blood. That scene is, you don't get more grotesquely bloody than cutting your own arm off. But I guess it's not just blood, it's blood on his own arms. Who would take that job? James Franco's arm was like this. And then after he gets through everything, he kind of goes, and I guess that was like James Franco's actual reaction. That was the take that Danny Boyle used, which is great. I think it's good that, even though no one really, when they were like, what, James Franco? He deserves the nomination. I think he'll give Colin Firth a run for his money. Don't get me wrong, Colin Firth is great. Command performance. It's gonna be a good competition. This isn't just me being like, oh, it's so good, it's so good shots and, good acting. I'm not some, little fangirl being like, oh, everything was perfect. I know that not everybody likes it, as these reviews Kendrick and Hewitt say, but it's really good. It's definitely worth seeing.